Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So today is our group presentation. First of all, I want to thank you, Mr. Adiana Gafar, for guiding us and let us share our presentation. And thank you to everyone for attending our presentation. We have, and then also, next slide, please. And also, we have a talented team who have been working together to share our findings on correctional design. Before we begin, I'd like to briefly introduce our presenter. They are me, Shakira, as moderator, Rina Puspitasari, Nur Aini Shifarahayu, and Nabila Nur Aziza. So, to ensure a smooth and engaging presentation, I'll be guiding the discussion and asking questions to clarify any points that may arise. Please feel free to ask your own question as well, and we encourage an open dialogue. So without any further ado, let's get started. Our presentation. Our first presenter is Rina. So for Rina, the stage is yours.
Okay, thanks to moderator. I will explain about what is correlational research, when do you use it, and how did it develop. Correlational research is a design used to predict scores and explain the relationship among variables. It involves the correlation statistical test to describe and measure the degree of association between two or more variables or set of scores. Unlike experiment, research do not control or manipulate variables in correlational research. Instead, they relate to or more scores for each person. Correlation indicates the tendency of two variables to vary consistently. If two variables covariate, scores on one variable can predict scores on another variables. The product moment correlation coefficient or is used to express a correlation statistically. Next slide. Okay, when do you use correlational research? When you seek to relate to two or more variables to see if they influence each other, such as the relationship between teachers who endorse developmentally appropriate practice and their use of the whole language. Approach to reading instruction. This design allows you to predict an outcome such as the prediction that ability, quality of schooling, student motivation, and academic coursework influence student achievement. You also use this design when you know and can apply statistical knowledge based on calculating the correlation statistical test. Okay, and how did correlational research develop? Began in late 19th century with development of correlation statistics. Carl Pearson introduced the familiar correlation formula in 1895. The phenomenon continued throughout 20th century increased use with computers and advanced statistical procedures. Next slide. What are the types of correlational design? Explain association between two or more variables. The first is the explanatory design. Explain association between two or more variables. The characteristic, the first is correlate two or more variables. The second is collects data at one point in time. The third is analyzes all participants as a single group. The fourth obtains at least two scores per participant. 5 use correlation statistical test, and the last is draw conclusion about relationship, not causation. For example, the explanatory design investigate factor of affecting academic achievement of at-risk student, analyzes data from one group of students, and correlated 8 variables with academic achievement. And the second is the prediction design. Identifies variable that predict an outcome. And the characteristic is the first is uses predictor variable to forecast future behavior. The second is measures predictors at one point, criterion variable later. The third is explicitly states intent to predict in purpose or research question, and the last is uses correlation and potentially advanced statistical procedures. And for the example is identify factor predicting sense of community for high school teachers, the measures predictor variables and a criterion variables, sense of community, and thus is use multiple regression to identify best predictors. Maybe enough from me. I will wait to moderator.
Okay, thank you, Rina, for the amazing explanation. Next material is presented by me. So, the next material, what are the key characteristics of correlational design? The first is display of scores. In correlation research, when analyzing two scores, it is often helpful to visualize or organize them in a way that highlights their relationship. This can be done through two primary methods, scatter plot or plotting the scores on a graph, or presenting them in a table or correlation matrix. And the first is scatter plots. A scatter plot is a graphical representation of the relationship between two scores, useful for identify patterns and outliers. It is used to compare multiple pairs of scores, identify strongly correlated variables and outliers. The study used scatter plots to analyze the correlation between high school students' internet usage and their depression levels, and the results show a positive correlation with less depression and more self-depression. Regular internet use is study focus, while excessive usage leads to higher depression, like we can see on the PPT. And then next slide, please. Yes, next is a correlation matrix. A correlation matrix displays the correlation coefficient between each pair of variables, allowing researchers to identify correlation not immediately apparent. Like we can see on the screen, a correlation matrix is a visual representation of correlation coefficient for all variables in a study, used in research reports to summarize relationships. And then association between scores. Correlation researchers use graphs to analyze association between scores by considering the direction, distribution, and degree and strength of the association. A positive correlation indicates a similar relationship, while a negative correlation indicates opposite ones. And the form of the association can be linear or not linear, and can be uncorrelated or non-linear. The correlation coefficient is a statistical tool used to describe and measure the association between two variables, ranging from minus 1.00 to plus 1.00. And researchers interpret the magnitude and direction of the correlation using a number and valence signs. The coefficient of the determination assessment, the proportion of variability in a one variable that can be explained by another, and correlation coefficient ranging from 0.20 to 0.35 are useful for exploring interconnection but not for prediction studies. Next slide, please. Okay, multiply variable analysis. Multiply variable analysis, particularly partial correlation and multiply regression are statistical techniques used to analyze the relationship between multiple variables. These methods are crucial in various fields, include market research, where they help identify and strength of relationship between variable and inform business decision. Okay, and then there are partial correlation. Partial correlation are used to isolate the relationship between two variables while controlling for the influence of a third variable. This is particularly important when there are multiple factors at play and researchers want to understand the unique effects of each variable on the outcome. For instance, in a study on motivation and academic performance, partial correlation could be used to examine the relationship between time spent on a task and achievement while controlling for the effect of motivation on both variables. And then multiple regression. Multiple regression is a statistical method that extends the concept of correlation analysis to multiple variables. It helps researchers identify the relationship between multiple independent variables and dependent variables. This technique is commonly used in market research to analyze the impact of various factors on customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, or market trends. However, it's essential to be aware of potential pitfalls such as overfitting or multicollinearity, which can affect the accuracy of the result. And then next slide, please. And then the last is a meta-analysis. A meta-analysis is a statistical method that combines the result of multiple studies to provide a comprehensive summary. It helps overcome the limitation of individual studies by synthesizing the data from multiple sources. This approach can be particularly useful in situations where individual studies may have limited sample size or many have been conducted under different conditions, making it difficult to draw conclusions based solely on one study. By combining the result of multiple studies, a meta-analysis can provide a more robust and reliable summary of the findings, which can be used to inform policy decision or guide future research. That's all from me. And then the next material will be presented by Nabila. So for Nabila, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you to moderator. I will explain about potential ethical issues in conducting relational research. Correlational research provides context, addresses multiple variables, and establishes an overall pattern of relationship. However, researchers must consider the ethics that in data collection, analysis, and reporting. This including uh, and the first one using the right control, including including relevant control variables like age, gender, and race is crucial to avoid misleading conclusion. A theoretical framework can guide selecting appropriate control. And the next, sufficient sample size ensures the study has the statistical power to detect real effect and meet the assumption of chosen statistical test. And the next, data integrity, publicating or manipulating data is a severe ethical breach. Researchers should accurately report finding and avoid misinterpreting correlation a causation causation effect size. And the next effect size reporting the strength of a relationship or effect size alongside statistical significance provides a more complicated picture. And the next measurement error, minimizing measurement error is essential to reliable analysis technique like vector analysis. And the next reporting standard, ethical reporting involves avoiding plagiarism, reporting all finding positive and negative, and offering alternative explanation. And the next, sharing and transparency. Sharing data, publishing in scholarly journal, and disclosing philosophy assumption uh, promote research transparency. And the last, meta-analysis ethic. Meta-analysis require careful attention to avoid selective inclusion or exclusion of study based on sample size or significance. Researchers should accurately synthesize finding from multiple study. Maybe enough for me. I will return back to the moderator.
Thank you, Nabila, for the presentation. That's all amazing. And then next material will be present by Shipa. So for Shipa, the stage is yours.
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Next, I will explain about what are the steps in conducting a correlational study. Step for conducting correlational research is step 1, determine if a correlational study best address the research problem. Correlational studies are conducted when there is a need to study a problem that requires identifying the direction and extent of relationship between the outcomes of two variables. It is useful for identifying the type of relationship, explaining complex relationship or various factors. However, correlational research does not prove a relationship, but show the relationship between two or more variables. For example, is creativity related to IQ test score of elementary school children? Associating to variable. The next is step 2, identify individuals to study. Ideally, you should randomly select individuals to generalize the result to the population and seek information to collect data from the responsible authorities and from institutional review board. For example, a research might study 100 high school athletes to correlate their level of participation in various sport and tobacco use. The narrow range of score from a population may affect the strength of the correlation relationship. The next is step 3. Identify 2 or more measures for each individual in the study. Since the basic idea of relational research is to compare participants in a single group based on 2 or more characteristic measures, the variable in the research question need to be identified in an instrument that measure this variable need to be obtained. Ideally, the instrument should have proven validity and reliability. You can obtain permission from the publisher on author to use the instrument usually or variable is measured on each instrument, but one instrument might contain both variables being correlates in the study. Okay, the next is step 4. Collect data and monitor potential threat. The next step is to administer the instrument and collect at least 2 sets of data from each individual. The research design is actually quite simple as a visual presentation. 2 scores of data are collected for each individual until you have a score for each person in the study. The situation applies to describe the relationship between 2 variables or to predicting a single outcome from predictor variable. You collect multiple independent variable to understand complex relationship. For example, in table 11.3, describe the variability in average versus grade for average for 10 graduate students in this field of education. It is assumes that our research have identified the spore predictor in the literature review. Okay, the next step 5, analyze the data and represent the research. The goal in correlational research is to describe 2 degrees of relationship between 2 or more variables. Analysis begins with coding the data and transferring it from the instrument into a computer file. Then research need to determine the appropriate statistic to use. The initial question is whether the data is linearly or curvilinearly related. There are also several things to consider, including first is whether only one independent variable is being studied. Second is mediating variable explaining both independent and dependent need to be controlled for. And the last is more than one independent variable need to be placed to explain the variability in the dependent variable. Okay, the last step is interpret the result. The final step in conducting correlational research is to interpret the meaning of the result. This entails discussing the magnitude and direction of research in correlational studies, considering the impact of intervening variable is functional correlation studies, interpreting the regression weight of variable in regression analysis, and developing predictive equation for use in study prediction. Okay, the next material about how do you evaluate a correlational study. To evaluate and assess the quality of a good relational study, there are several things to consider. Number 1 is adequate sample for The first is adequate sample size for hypothesis testing. The second is simple of correlational result in metric or graph form. The next is interpretation of the direction and magnitude of relationship between two or more variables. The fourth is assessment of the magnitude of the relationship based on the coefficient of determination, p-value, effect size, or the size of the coefficient. Choice of appropriate statistic for analysis. And the next is identification of predicator and criterion variable. And the next is if a visual model of the relationship is developed, the researchers indicates the expect direction of the relationship between the variable or the predictive direction based on the observed data. And the last is clear identification of statistical producer. Okay, maybe enough from me. I will return to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Shifa, for the presentation. That's pretty amazing. And then we at the end of the presentation, and I will tell you guys about the conclusion. So the conclusion of the presentation is correlational research is used in educational settings to measure the degree of association between variables or scores. It uses a statistical procedure like factor analysis, readability estimates, and regression to test complex models. Correlation research can be defined into explanation and prediction design, with explanations explaining the degree of association, and prediction design identify variables that positively predicted outcomes. And that's all from us. Thank you for attending our presentation, and also thank you to Mr. Adiana Gafar. I think that's all enough. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.